This is James Ellsworth, and you're listening to In Your Head Wrestling.
Welcome to In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the cat with 9 lives, handsome Jackie Jones, along with my right-hand man, my audio soulmate, and the enforcer of the Hennyverse.
1-inch biceps, the power goat. Bah! How about that, Jack?
You are full of life tonight. I'm
Thank you.
Very proud of you. And joining us, he has many names as well. We have Mikey G. He's a comedian. He's a beach bum, apparently. And he is one half of the Splash Brothers that you saw live last night on Raw, Steven Splash. How are you doing?
100-inch biceps and jack me off. I am here on the In Your Head Wrestling deal, baby. And I am here to make a splash. Mama Shay always said we had to live up to the family name. And we're diving straight to the deep end tonight.
Excellent. You know what?
Those were all my lines from yesterday.
Oh. I don't remember Jack Me Off on Raw.
No, it was Byron on Raw.
Oh, okay.
But, I had to substitute here.
I got you.
No, see, I'm trying to get in your head.
He's a wise
I was
man.
messing around.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you guys having me on this stuff. It's been a crazy whirlwind these last couple of days, man. It's been wild.
Yeah, now there's been a few. What is the name that you prefer? Enhancement talent or?
I prefer. Well, pretty soon here, when they sign up me and James Ellsworth to be Job Squad 2.0, I don't know. No, I don't know. Enhancement talent, jobber, I don't care. Some guys get pissed off about that stuff, but it was such a cool experience.
This is not just because you agreed to come on here, but you and James Ellsworth are the two people we asked to come on the show who is filling these roles. James Ellsworth came on In Your Head, and now he's on Smackdown and stuff, so things are looking up for the man. And you were one of the guys that stood out to me. I thought you're very memorable out there on Raw.
Thank you very much. I figured I had about 10 seconds to shine, and with his looking like 50 Mitt Romneys in a snowstorm, as white as I am, I took every one of those 10 seconds to try to shine as much as I could.
I was a big fan of the very wide-eyed promo. It reminded me of the promos I grew up with in the 80s.
I tried to get a tribute in there. I was chewing gum because I was going to do the Mr. Perfect, but they had us two crunched in together. So I tried to throw in some Macho Man with the headband, a little bit of Hulk Hogan with the eyes and the breathing. I tried to tribute all my favorite 80s wrestlers too.
And I was a very happy man to see the Zubaz.
It was such a cool thing when we were sitting around, hanging around before the show. Arn Anderson came up to myself and Marcus Carey Lewis and was like, "All right, guys, we got you with Braun Strowman tonight. It's gonna be, you guys were picked because of your look and your perceived athletic ability. So I'll take it. I figured being short finally worked in my favor one time."
Yeah. So how now you talked about meeting Arn Anderson at the show, but how did the spot come about?
Well, I've been, in and out of wrestling since started training in the year 2000 in the Midwest, had zero level of any fame anywhere. I've been in, I run a little promotion out here in Santa Cruz, California. We run a couple monthly shows. It's called Fist Combat, FIST. I punch you with a fist. I've been in and out, but, now at 33, I've watched a lot of my friends go on and have very successful careers in wrestling. And, I was like, what the hell? I'll put my name in the hat. I feel good about myself. I feel like, if I would have had an opportunity like this, it is a hell of an opportunity, but I don't want to act like it's nothing beyond, like enhancement talent or whatever. But even I didn't think that I would be able to handle a situation like that And like I did these last couple days, being in that situation when you're not ready for it, I think you might have seen that with some wrestlers that get signed early and then kind of get let go and then come back to the company. That I'm glad that I'm getting this opportunity now because I think that it was time.
Definitely. Now, had you teamed with Marcus before?
Never. We actually we've been on a show together once. I think that might have been the second or third time we'd ever even talked to each other really.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, we're brothers.
Well, you might not be close brothers. I mean,
Well, I don't know. It was kind of funny when we were doing the practice thing. Devon Dudley was there. I walked up to him. I go, hey, hey, man, I think me and my partner here are like the new Dudley boys. And Devon said, well, I feel bad for whoever is Bubba. And I kind of looked around and I go, I think that's me.
That came up in the chat. We have a live chat during Raw, and someone in the chat had said, "Hey, this is like the new Dudley Boys." So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we kind of look like the bubbling boys, though. Just like we're bubbling or fumbling around the ring.
Yeah.
No, it was it was so cool, man. Braun Strowman is a fucking mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, is that guy huge? You think you can prepare yourself for things in life, but there's nothing that can compare you to a 10,000-pound man with a 5-pound man on his back running at you at full speed.
Uh-huh. Now,
holy shit.
What was it like taking the reverse choke slam?
I mean, I don't know.
It wasn't worse.
It was kind of like, hey, I'm going to lift you up for this thing, and then you kind of just are going to drop, right? And I was like, all right, cool. I'll make a stupid facial expression or something because I was like, I can float,
Uh-huh.
But once I was up there, I was on the ground before I knew it. So, the dude is full of force.
So, you mentioned talking to Arn Anderson. What kind of direction did they give you for the match?
Full direction. You don't have, there's no leeway. I mean, it's basically like, me and my buddy here were just talking, it's like any other, going to see a play, it's like you get a script. That's what your part is, you're not going to see Romeo and Juliet, and Romeo's going to go out there making a bunch of ad-libs and improv and some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like, the lines are the lines, that's what you get.
Yeah.
So, and plus, how are you going to try to go off script when you're wrestling a mountain,
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's like,
so it'll fuck you up for real,
You're just I think I'll shoot on him, maybe go in business for myself here. But I'm glad
It's funny, after we ran over or whatever, we go to the gorilla position and tell Billy Kidman our name and shit. He takes down everybody's, ring name and real name and everything. And Billy Kidman's like, hey, now, you're on live TV. So if you want to win, go for it.
That's awesome.
He really said that. Pretty sure he was joking.
Yeah. And I'm glad you told me about Romeo and Juliet, because every time I go to see it, I'm hoping they live at the end. And now I know that I'm just wasting
Hey,
time.
spoiler alert, bro.
Oh,
they die.
Sorry.
Dog.
It's big
Crazy.
spoiler.
Itchman, do you have a question from the Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Ben Davies, he wants to know who came up with the name Splash Brothers.
Well, we're in Oakland, and I'm not a big basketball guy, but I do know that Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry are the Splash Brothers. So that was the take on that.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
So, whatever. Hey, it was cool, though, being there in Oakland and, being able to shout out Oakland was awesome. I know it was awesome for that hometown crowd there last night. So, they had a real good time with that. And I feel like they wanted us to win.
So what was the reaction like after the match when you go backstage?
Shit. This is where shit got crazy. Like, Vince and Stephanie like came up to me and told me what a great job I did. You know, it was surreal, brother. It was surreal. You know, as somebody that has watched wrestling and pretty much grown up as these wrestlers have, you know, like watching it and, you know, participating in the same field, you never think you're going to be in a situation like that. I sure as hell didn't ever think I was going to get to be face to face with Vince McMahon, especially considering what I was doing yesterday. And then for Vince and Stephanie to both come up and say what they said, like, I had to pinch myself about 1,000 times because holy shit.
I think that says a lot about them too, you know, that they would take the time to, you know, to say good job to someone who went out there and performed for him on Raw.
You know, that huge testament to them. You know, Vince and Steph was the whole operation at Raw was awesome. It was such a great time.
Now, I have to mention, I was reading your website, comedysuplex.com, and I have to know, how much did you lose on the CM Punk fight?
Oh, only a couple $100. Actually, I ended up losing more than a couple $100, but my buddy, who's kind of a dumbass when it comes to gambling on sports, he told me to take CM Punk by submission or by, I don't know. And then when that lost, obviously, he gave me my money back, which was cool. So, you know, I didn't lose as much as I should have on that fight.
My grandfather taught me how to play poker, and I remember when I was like 6, I would cry, and my mom would give me my pennies back, but my grandfather would always say, no, you have to learn how to lose. So, I
definitely had a lesson in that last night.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I actually won a bet on the CM Punk fight, but we didn't bet money. It was the guy I bet, who still hasn't done it yet, Mike Terry out there. He has to make and eat a Spam and pineapple cheesecake.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it does sound pretty bad. So, where did the Carrot Bottom nickname come from?
Well, I mean, look at me. I kind of look like Carrot Top had sex with Kenny Powers, or Ronald McDonald fucked Raggedy Ann. I don't know. But actually, I got made fun of for being a redhead for all my life. You know, even when I was a kid, they called me Carrot Top, and my mom always told me, she goes, Michael Patrick, you know, because you know how moms talk. Like, Michael Patrick, when those kids call you a Carrot Top, you remind them that the tops of carrots are green. They're not red. They're not orange. I was like, hell yeah, Mom, you are so smart, right? Go to the playground. I tell the kids that. They beat me up like a redheaded stepchild. That's where that saying comes from me, get beat up.
Oh, goodness.
But
sorry to laugh.
I told that story to a gay comedian friend of mine, and he said to me, he goes, I wouldn't make you a Carrot Top. I want to make you my Carrot Bottom.
I will say that is what I immediately thought, but yeah.
and see, like, I didn't mind that because that's a part of the carrot I look like, the bottom part,
right.
You know. But turns out that's not what he had in mind.
Yeah. You would be the receiver on this, the catcher.
But that's what he was. That's what he was playing. Yeah, and I didn't totally understand. And then when I got smartened up. Yeah.
Did you get smartened up the hard way, or did he just explain it to you?
No, it was more the soft way, which I appreciate. You know, it could have been the hard way.
Exactly. So, tell everybody out there what Comedy Suplex is, and what you do besides wrestling.
So I produce a stand-up comedy tour that's sponsored by various marijuana dispensaries up and down the West Coast. Sponsored by High Times Magazine. So we do comedy shows for stoners,
no.
And it's a lot of fun.
Now, do you? I saw RVD was listed on some of the dates. Do you tour with RVD?
So we've done a number of shows together that I produced. RVD is somebody that I knew from working with a little bit in wrestling, and I recently found out that he's ventured into stand-up comedy. So we have that similarity together, and we got booked on a show together in LA. Come to talk, we have a lot more than wrestling and comedy in common. So, you know, we ended up booking a couple different runs of shows together. And I'm really looking to try to mend the worlds of comedy and wrestling in a stand-up setting, you know, because there's just so many guys out there that are doing it these days and, you know, being very successful with it. And I'd like to experience that as well.
Yeah, I've heard the rumor about RVD that he may partake in the marijuana.
Every once in a while, I don't know.
Yeah, it is a rumor out there.
Well, in California, we have prescriptions.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm in Massachusetts.
So we're ailed.
Yeah, I'm here in Massachusetts. It's been decriminalized.
So what does that mean? If you get caught, it's just a ticket?
Yeah. I think you can just, you can have, so much. It's very strange, because I know in the upcoming election, it's vote no on number 2, whatever, to ban smoking marijuana in public, but I'm pretty sure that's just illegal anyway, so I don't even understand the point of voting on this. But, I mean, you can't walk around drinking in public here, so I don't know.
Well, it's a weird gray law. Some people think it's going to be federally legalized. I hope it's not. I hope California just keeps it medical. There's a lot, and traveling and working a lot in that industry and hearing from the inside, this is the problem that you have with that industry is there's a lot of corruption and there's a lot of people that are trying to make sure that nobody can come up in that industry. So they're trying to keep it a very corporate business where only certain people are allowed to cultivate the plant, only certain people are allowed to sell the plant, and then it just becomes a good old boy system, and that's not good for anybody.
You mentioned, the stand-up with a lot of wrestlers are doing. I know, Piper before he passed away, Mick Foley, Bundy. Now, would your plan be to
Bundy?
Yeah,
King Kong Bundy?
Yeah, King Kong Bundy here on the East Coast does stand-up.
No shit, that's awesome.
I've not seen him do it, but I would love to. I've seen Piper live and Foley live doing it, but I've never seen Bundy. But
now I'll tell you a good story. I booked a Honky Tonk Man for some stand-up shows.
Oh, nice.
And we were driving the Honky Tonk Man around all week, right? For these shows. We were doing some things, yada, yada, yada. So we just got to talking, and Honky Tonk Man tells me, he goes, well, I'd try anything once, except being gay. But there was this one time in Puerto Rico where I got this blowjob from this hooker, and I didn't know if it was a guy or a girl, but blowjobs don't count. So blowjobs, I'm kind of finding this out. Honky Tonk Man at the end of the weekend, he signs a fucking 8x10 for me to hang up in my radio studio, and at the bottom of it, I added blowjobs don't count. So that's my Honky Tonk Man story.
That's what I've been trying to tell Intra that for years, but he's not falling for it yet.
Blowjobs don't count.
Well, the Honky Tonk Man says it.
So, which would you say is your first love, wrestling or comedy?
Oh, dude, pro wrestling. I mean, if I could make a legitimate living, if I could make enough to pay my bills meagerly, I would drop everything in a heartbeat, but I got to pay the bills. So I got to figure out another way to be basically naked in front of a crowd. So stand-up comedy.
Yeah. It goes hand in hand. So,
what's up?
I just said it went hand in hand, being naked in front of people. But, who?
Well, I was backstage at Smackdown today, and I had a very short conversation with Dolph Ziggler. But, it was briefly about the similarities between pro wrestling and stand-up comedy, I mean, you're basically, you and the audience, you have to perform. There's high expectation levels for you, you have to go out there and interact with them and do shit on the fly sometimes. So, there's different territories. There's a lot of driving. There's a lot of, downtime. So there's a lot of similarities between pro wrestling and comedy. So it's not very surprising to me as I get more into comedy that you see a lot of crossover from pro wrestling into comedy. Shit, it's all cut and promos.
Yeah, and I would think you mentioned like the territories. I would think a lot of the older wrestlers who did it, who did more of the matches where you'd call it in the ring. If what you're saying isn't quite working with this crowd, you have to change it up to know what works with the crowd, similar to wrestling, especially older style wrestling.
Excuse me. The older style wrestling that's what sells.
Yeah.
It's it's storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
No problem.
You get those specialty audiences that want something different out of their product, like the audience at the PWG and these Evolve shows and Ring of Honor shows. But wrestling, when it comes down to it, it's all storytelling. So the older style stuff, the cheating behind the ref's back, the real big build-ups for the hot tags. That's what I love about wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I have to say, besides on Raw, I haven't seen any of your matches. What kind of style? What is your style of wrestling?
Oh, did you see what I did last night? That's pretty much it. I'm a wild, crazy idiot with facial expressions out the wazoo.
Well, I enjoy it.
I'm a wild man. I run around with a chain around my neck, swinging it around like an idiot, and I just have I have a really good time in there.
I like it.
That's what it's all about. You have to have fun. It's not about being nervous and having to remember all these cues and lines and all. It's not all about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really.
It's about going out there and having a good time, and performing.
Yeah, I thought your promo actually reminded me a lot of late Larry Sweeney, who I was a big fan of.
Oh, humongous fan of Larry Sweeney. Somebody that I definitely would have considered a strong acquaintance back in the day. What a passionate person.
Yeah, we had him on the show several times. Always a great. Well, the last interview was very sad, but always very entertaining guy. And it's too bad.
Yeah, if I could just channel people like that, I had such a good time last night that there's nothing better. There's nothing better in the world that could happen to me.
So,
I was living a dream and doing it in front of millions of people.
Yeah,
no better feeling in the world.
How did you get into being a fan of wrestling? Like, was it family members or?
My parents were always fans. My mom wrestled a couple indie matches in the St. Louis area way back in the day. It's all good. I got Park Row. I stay on the road. She's a big fan. My mom's a humongous fan. I hollered my mom out last night, Mama Shay. Shay's really my mom's real name. That wasn't that was the only thing not in the script.
Mm-hmm.
They're humongous fans. I remember going to every show when it came to St. Louis. Pay-per-views, everything. I was at Bad Blood. I remember all that stuff. My mom taking me to anytime somebody was signing autographs at the car dealership. To shit, you name it. I was at all those shows. So to share that, and my dad's name's Steven too. So, which that wasn't my plan, that was their plan, it just worked out. But that, it was such a cool thing that I got to do, but so many of my friends and family members got to live through that too.
Yeah.
And that was the coolest thing, to be able to live that moment. It wasn't just me, man. It was everybody that has ever came to one of my backyard wrestling shows when I was in high school, or anybody that ever helped me set up a ring at Gateway Championship Wrestling, or anybody that, has come and bought a ticket for one of my shows that I produce. All those people have just been sending me messages. I've probably spent 8 hours since last night just responding to messages, and that. There's no cooler thing in the world than to do that,
Yeah.
No, nothing better. To grow up loving this and watching it and to be able to do it, brother, nothing better.
So did you hear from your parents since last night then?
What's that?
Did you hear from your parents since last night? Did they get to see Raw?
Oh yeah. Not only as soon as I found out, I called my mom. They recorded it, and my parents were crying. It's wow, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was like whatever. We're lower middle class people. Blue collar people from the Midwest. We love professional wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So that's it's like white trash getting accepted to Harvard. You know what I'm saying? That's what yesterday was for me and the fam. That Heath Slater shit. That's what we live that shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Break out the cheese whiz, and it's good to go. So.
Hey, my mama got kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So who were your favorite wrestlers? Who were your inspirations?
Well, brother, I'll tell you this. If I wasn't snipping into Slim Jims left and right and making Miss Elizabeth my Mets made in heaven, Macho Man, my favorite of all time. Yeah, brother.
Excellent.
Macho Man. I mean, who wasn't a Macho Man fan, though? But, it was a Macho, Warrior, and then Hogan third for sure. But, if that isn't the most standard lift ever, I don't know what is.
It's for a reason, so it makes sense.
I wasn't a fan of Disco Sting or any of that shit, or Depressed Sting, or any of the Stings, really,
Yeah. Screw you,
And by the time The Rock and Austin were hot, I was like, oh shit, I'm like a year away from being able to legally train, So
yeah,
I was like, I'm getting into this, I got to quit being a fan. I want to be a wrestler,
Mm-hmm. So who did you train with?
I'm glad you asked me who I trained with and not who I was trained by, because I'm not going to give that guy any credit for anything.
Fair enough.
I trained with, I came in from a stellar class. You might know Delirious, Matt Sydal, and of course, Hard Knocks Ryan Ash, who was pretty much our mentor and guiding light throughout life. And, but those are the guys that I came up with. Those three are my best friends for real. So,
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's great.
That's who I started with.
Yeah. Now, when you went into training, this is kind of more of an outdated question, I guess, but did you need Spartan Up, or did you know what wrestling was?
Well, by that point, you pretty much knew, by 98 and 99. I mean, shit, I was 16 in the year 2000, I think, right? Yeah. I was born in 83. So I was turning 17 in the year 2000. By that point, you pretty much know, but by 98, I think when that Wrestling Secrets video came out, I was 13, 14. I was like, oh shit, that's what's up. And I mean, plus, I'm, fucking, who doesn't know that? You know what I'm saying? I think it's rude to come up and ask a pro wrestler if it's fake,
Sure.
But one time this guy did, and I punched him in the face, but I stopped my foot and I didn't actually hit him, so,
Yeah, I mean, I always knew since I was a little kid, but it never affected how I enjoyed wrestling. It's I mean, I don't believe dragons are real, and I get into Game of Thrones, so.
Good. Yeah, but hey, man, who doesn't like watching that shit?
Oh,
who
exactly.
thinks Bruce Willis is going out there as, whatever his name, what was his name, MacGyver or whatever the fuck? John McClane. John McClane, there you go. Who thinks that dude's really going out there blowing people up and shit? Come on, we're not stupid. So I don't know why it's a big surprise that we're admitting it now.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
I think it really came down to a business thing too, is that, fuck, they still make you have an athletic commission out in Missouri, and it's stupid. It's well, this is a performance, it's not an athletic competition,
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah. Inchman, was there any more questions from Facebook or the chat room?
Facebook or the chat room?
I see Juju B had a question here in the chat room.
Well, go ahead and ask it. I don't have it up right now.
All right. Intra's All right,
I'm dropping the ball.
that's no problem. Jujubee wants
Well,
to
as long
know.
as you're not dropping your balls, that's good.
He hopes to soon. Jujubee wants to know if you. What do you think of the phrase "funny doesn't equal money"?
Funny doesn't equal money?
Yeah, that's like an old wrestling phrase.
Funny doesn't equal money.
Mhm.
I think that guy is a schmo.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, come on, there's a place for everything. Did you guys watch Smackdown tonight?
Yes, I
You
did.
telling me that James Ellsworth and AJ Styles match wasn't off the hook?
I was
You know,
very excited.
there's
to
room
see
for it.
Yeah, I was super
There's room
excited.
for it.
I was very excited to see Mr. Ellsworth come out there.
Oh, brother, that's the person I've just spent the most time with today backstage at SmackDown.
Oh, really? So
Oh,
what?
I'm in love with that guy.
Did he give you any advice or anything? I mean, I know you're kind of almost on the same level, but you know, he was.
No, dude, I ask advice from everybody. You know, if you're not learning every day from every experience that you have, fucking quit whatever you're doing. You know, whether it's a positive experience or a negative experience, you got to learn a lesson from everything. You got to soak up everybody. You got to soak up knowledge from people. And what do people like doing more than anything else? Talking about themselves. So asking them questions. I mean, this is how to pick up girls too. You got to get them talking. You got to get them asking about themselves. So anybody I'm around that would give me their attention and knowledge, fuck, man. You know, so sitting out there and just talking to him, you know, like, hey, you know, like, because I listened to the Jericho podcast with him, you know, before I went in and did the extra work. And I suggest that anybody that ever wants to do any extra work, because I guess that's what I prefer to call it, extras, because that's what they call it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, enhancement, talent, jobbers, whatever. Is listen to what he's got to say. You know, be around people. Have your face around there. You know, like, I kind of have a look, so it's kind of hard to forget me when you see me. You know, but, you know, like, do something to stand out. You know, whether it's, I don't know, be overly polite or, you know, fucking always wear a pink tie or I've got the bandanas and the facial shit and the hair. Like, I just pile it on, you know? So, I don't know. You got to go out there and you got to be memorable. And, you know, those are the things that he was talking about. I mean, plus he's got like no chin. He looks like a Simpsons character. So, you know, he's got that going for him too.
Yeah. He's got great
Cowabunga.
facials too. They're, you know, yours are more out there, and his are more subtle, I think. But they're both excellent on the facial expression.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing for Job Squad 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Splash and James Ellsworth. Let's do it.
I love this idea, and we will mention it every week here on the show.
Like, we should come up. We should generate a hashtag. I'm doing a couple other podcasts this week, and I'm gonna suggest we do a hashtag like bring back the Job Squad.
I agree. It needs to be done. So, how can people? Where can people follow you? Not like at your home, but online.
Oh, well, I don't know. If you see my red fro at a comedy show, just follow me back to my car.
Right.
And then put on the GPS. No.
And remember what Honky Talk Man said.
Yeah, I try accept blowjobs. I practiced that honky tonk voice for so long. So you can catch me. Everything's at comedysuplex.com. I am Mikey G Beach Bum on Twitter. And, you can find anything from there. You can find me. I do like a podcast, a weekly wrestling TV show for my promotion down here. You know, we have a lot of fun with it. But yeah, you can also download my comedy album for free at comedysuplex.com. And, keep rooting for the underdogs.
Definitely. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming on. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, hell yeah, Big Jack and 1,000 shotgun salute. I appreciate you guys having me on this here deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hope I got in your head because y'all got in my head.
You did indeed. And Jujubee here just brought us to attention. James Ellsworth is getting a title shot next week on Smackdown.
Oh shit! Well, where's that gonna be at? Because I need to fly out and be in my boy's corner.
Exactly. Well, we'll find out, and we'll get you. I'm sure you can look on the website, but we'll find out, and we'll get you the info.
Dude, I'm booking that flight right after I get off the phone here, I swear to God.
Excellent. All right, man. Thanks for coming on, and continued success.
Hell yeah, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Peace.
Bye.
This is Mick Foley, the Hardcore Legend, and this is InYourHeadOnline.com.